Good afternoon. You're watching LNA Now with Barry and Jenny. I am Jenny Nagel.
And I'm Barry Eckner. Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Monday, the last Monday in April. Ready for warmer temperatures, are you, Jen?
Yeah, I'm like super chilly. I've been bundled up all afternoon. We're in the Northeast here,
Why are
Barry.
you so cold, Jenny? Why are you so cold? Why am I so cold?
You're cold because you're not used to it. I'm cold because we're coming to you from Montreal today.
We are live from Montreal at the Ritz-Carlton. We are here with Nelly DeVost. They are a Belgian skincare brand that's owned by the French-Canadian distribution company called Derme and Company. And we are going to a VIP Royal Gala tonight with Princess Isabella of Belgium. But
Yes.
today, we are learning about summer nutrition with our fabulous dear friend, Mary Nielsen from Spectrum Advanced Aesthetics. How are you, Mary Nielsen? And Mary Nielsen, where are you at today?
Well, I am coming to you today from the Ritz-Carlton in Portland, Oregon.
So this this webisode is sponsored by Spectrum Advanced Aesthetics and the Ritz-Carlton Hotel chain,
Yes, we want to thank them for giving
making
us
it such
this
a fabulous space.
this wonderful space. Oh my goodness, it's been amazing.
It's a
And I
great
can't,
place to host a webinar.
It
yes,
really
I can't
is.
believe it's the end of April. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It really is. Like it was so funny. I just realized that, Mary, we were talking in the green room about your upcoming July digital download, which as soon as we went live, I realized we gave that to Fearless Beauties. So we don't have to worry about that. I totally just realized that after we would that. But
all right
that's a
then.
great segue to talk about Fearless Beauties. I know you love and support that organization, and I know they're doing a lot of work with you. They're going to be bringing content to Lipgloss and Aftershave. So, Mary, you want to give them a little shout out? Talk to them about what's happened. Tell the community a little bit more about Fearless Beauties.
Well, sure. Fearless Beauties started in 2018 as an educational organization to talk about treating skin of color because there's just a huge gap in aesthetic education. And so we've expanded. I'm stepped back. Um, we have Fearless Beauty's book and a workbook that some aesthetic schools across the country are using in their own curriculum so that they can make sure their students are educated on treating skin of color. We've expanded to include treating people with handicaps, uh, body dysmorphia, people in
Also,
wheelchairs,
a lot. You have a really great,
transgender. We've
yeah.
included transgender. And so we've tried to just create more of an inclusive beauty environment. I think that representation matters. And I think that seeing people who look like you makes you feel more comfortable to go and get services, and that estheticians are missing out on a revenue opportunity if they aren't educated and aren't comfortable dealing with all the people that can come through their doors. So
Mary,
we've, yes.
I want to piggyback off of that because as you're saying, if the spas don't even know where to start, right? And they don't know how to make these marketing materials that will appeal to everyone. Fearless Beauties actually will be launching a digital download the 1st of May with us. So you guys can put your email in, you can sign up for this guide that Fearless Beauties has created, which will open up the communication lines because they host classes, right? They host educational sessions. They'll be part of IECSE. There's so much to come with Fearless Beauties, and what you have started is remarkable and sort of passing on the torch to Nichelle Mosley, and she's just taking it and running with it. So there is so much conversation to be coming on the Lip Gloss and Aftershave platform in just a few days.
Yes. So Nichelle is, I'm passing the torch to Nichelle, who really has the vision to take Fearless Beauties to the next level. And she's got a great team with several of the staff from Spectrum. And so everybody is just kind of coming together and really, I think, elevating the platform for Fearless Beauties.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it was we love that you are such a supporter, giving part of your sponsorship campaign to them to really like follow through on that mission of yours. So mad respect on that. We love your dedication. And just your overall commitment to excellence in your school and the things that you offer. Because when we were there last year, I was personally blown away at the level of commitment you have and the resources that you provide to the students that come to that school. You know, you've got easily several $100,000 of equipment that they're all trained on: lasers, hydrofacial. You've got all these different LED devices, and I was blown away at the level of professionalism from the students who did my microneedling. So what you guys are doing is why we love working with you and showcasing your education. So
Oh,
yeah,
well,
we're
thank
just
you.
it's a great partnership.
I feel like I have the responsibility of educating the next generation of estheticians
Mhm.
And you're
and
doing a great job.
leaving a legacy so that they're confident when they graduate, they can go to work rather than feeling like, well, they taught me enough to pass the state board.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
key. And Mary, just to echo off Barry saying, when we visited your facility, I walked in there and I thought to myself, and I think this can resonate with a lot of estheticians in our community in general, that we graduated with just enough to pass that state board test, which was the most impractical practical that we ever took. And when I came into your facility, I was like, oh my God, had I have come here, I would have walked out so much more advanced. So what you provide to this industry is just mind blowing. So I know your nutrition course is a huge hit within our community. Every single time we've talked about it for the past year and a half now, the community just went wild. So I love that you are continually updating that program as well. And obviously today we're talking about summer nutrition.
Yeah.
More summer nutrition. Yeah.
Well, let's
So,
get into it, Mayor. We'll give you the floor. You can take over the screen, share your screen, and we'll let you talk about it.
okay, I'm excited. Let's see, is that going to be it? Okay, here we go.
You're
Oh,
sharing, and it
Um,
looks great. Perfect.
okay, great. We've got some nutrition tips for summer skin. Let's, oop, there. Okay, I got to get the right angle. There. Okay. So who am I? I'm Mary Nielsen. I'm the executive director, founder of Spectrum. You can find me at your SD Godmother on Instagram. I'm the OG for Fearless Beauties. I am a licensed aesthetic instructor and a licensed advanced esthetician. Objectives today, we really want to look at, sorry, I have that black bar right in the way of move that out of the way. Great. We can talk about how can summer damage our skin? It's sort of the season that we're looking for. We're waiting for summer. We can't wait to get out of kind of the gloom of winter. Spring is kind of nice, but here in the Pacific Northwest, it still gets a little gray. So everybody's looking forward to summer. We're going to talk about foods that offer SPF protection. And I think that's really interesting and something to be paying attention to your diet this summer. We're going to talk about some foods that could be problematic because you're going to be surprised at some skin reactions that your clients could be having over the summer that could be because of some of these summer foods that they're eating. And then we'll just do a little bit on nutrition and aesthetics because I think that well, I know that I'm an early adapter. I know that I can sometimes spot trends. And I think that more and more research is coming out about the importance of our diet, the importance of our gut skin biome. And this, I think, in the next 5 to 10 years is going to be huge. And you're going to see a real blending of nutrition and aesthetics. And now I got to find the button. Okay, there. Okay, so how can the sun damage our skin? There's UVB radiation from the sun that penetrates that outer layer of the skin and causes a sunburn. Our sunburn typically will have redness, pain, inflammation, and in severe cases, blistering. And blistering is where some real damage can happen. But that sunburn also damages our skin's DNA that triggers an inflammatory response. If we have overexposure to UVB radiation, That increases the risk of developing skin cancer, which we all know about, including melanoma, the deadliest form of skin cancer. And somehow people think it isn't going to happen to me. The summer sun also causes premature aging. That chronic exposure to UVA radiation, I don't know how many of you were like me, but in the 80s, I was in that tanning bed almost every day. I was a single mom and it gave me 20 minutes of alone time every day. But now I'm having to pay for that. But that UVA radiation leads to premature aging, sometimes called photoaging. That UVA rays actually penetrate deeper into the skin than UVB rays and damage our collagen and elastin fibers. So this causes the development of fine lines, wrinkles, sagging skin, uneven pigmentation. Photoaging will accelerate your natural aging, and that leads to a dull, leathery appearance. And it also causes DNA damage. Both the UVA and the UVB radiation causes DNA damage in the skin, and that will cause formation of DNA mutations, oxidative stress. That leads to genetic alterations in the skin cells. If we don't get these repaired, those mutations will accumulate over time and increase the risk of developing skin cancer. The UV-induced DNA is the primary contributing factor to the non-melanoma skin cancers, such as basal cell and squamous cell carcinoma. And it causes immune suppression. So prolonged or intense sun exposure can suppress the immune function of our skin, making it more susceptible to infections, inflammations, and other skin conditions. UV radiation impairs the activity of the immune cells, like the Langerhans cells, the T lymphocytes that play a crucial role in our body's defense against pathogens and foreign invaders. Suppression of immune function increases the risk of developing infections, exacerbates inflammatory skin conditions like eczema and psoriasis, and can impair wound healing. So let's talk about some foods that offer sun protection. And this part is so interesting to me because I don't think I really thought about how my diet can protect my skin. Oh, why is it doing that? Okay, there. Blueberries. So blueberries are rich in powerful antioxidants that will fight off free radicals that will damage the skin due to sun exposure and stress. Blueberries are even more powerful if they're the wild variety, but if you can only get them at the grocery store, do that. Head to your farmer's market. They're a good source of vitamin C, and that can help prevent wrinkles after a day on the beach. Tomatoes. Tomatoes are known for containing lycopene, an antioxidant responsible for the tomato's red color. But did you know that watermelon actually contains more lycopene than tomatoes? Lycopene absorbs both UVA and UVB radiation, although it can take several weeks for your skin to become more photoprotective due to the turnover rate. And this was proven in a 2012 study. After a few weeks of daily juicy watermelon, and it's not too hard to manage in this hot weather, lycopene can eventually act as a natural sunblock. Researchers do say, though, that it doesn't necessarily take the place of your SPF or sun protective clothing. But when it comes to anti-aging, why not add a little more watermelon to your diet? Walnuts, hemp seeds, chia seeds, and flax all contain omega-3 essential fatty acids. Fish and eggs are great sources of clean, skin-loving fat. Our body can't make omega-3 fatty acids, so it's really essential that we get them from our diet. What does omega-3 do for our skin? They help maintain the skin's integrity. They're anti-inflammatory too, and they help our body naturally cope with the effects of spending too much time in the sun. Our bodies convert beta carotene into vitamin A, which is vital for skin health. We know that retin A comes from vitamin A. A 2007 meta-analysis found that beta carotene provides a natural sun protection after 10 weeks of regular supplementation. So eating a variety of foods that are rich in beta carotene will help get the daily quota a little bit easier. Carrots, leafy greens like kale and spinach are great beta carotene packed additions to your meals, even making a good breakfast smoothie. Leafy greens are high in antioxidants lutein and zeaxanthin, and they've been found to protect against wrinkling, sun damage, and even skin cancer. In a 2010 study, researchers found that green tea led to fewer tumors induced by UV light in mice. This was due to a flavanol contained in both green and black tea, known as EGCG. Another animal study on green tea found that it reduced skin damage from UVA light and protected against decreased collagen. Collagen's our body's most abundant protein, and it gives our skin its integrity and its firmness. There. So when it comes to fruit and veggies, right, we want to think about eating a plate that's full of color. The more vibrantly colored foods on our plate, supposedly the better they are. Well, they're likely to have more antioxidants, but think about adding cauliflower. Just because cauliflower is pale, it is an exception to the rule. Cauliflower has powerful antioxidants that fight off oxidative stress from free radicals. Cauliflower is also a naturally sun protective food thanks to histidine. That's an alpha amino acid that stimulates the production of urocanic acid, which absorbs UV radiation. Now let's take a look at foods that are problematic. And here is where you may find a conflict and where you may have to help your client sort things out, because some of the things that are good for us, that are good at helping to absorb UV radiation, are also foods that are problematic. So it requires some real detective work. There are chemicals in foods that are naturally found in plants. They help the plant protect itself against diseases and insects. And some of those chemicals are solanines, histamines, and salicylates. So nightshades are a group of plants that belong to the Solanaceae family, which includes commonly consumed vegetables like tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants. These vegetables are nutritious and they're really enjoyed a lot in summer cuisine. You're going to see I want to say potato salad. How many have a fresh tomato salad? They contain compounds that can potentially affect people, especially with people who have sensitivities to those nightshades or that Solanaceae family. Skin irritations. Solanine can cause skin irritation or contact dermatitis in some individuals. This can manifest itself as redness, itching, inflammation, or a rash on the skin, something that your client could be coming to you for. You may be thinking, I want to say eczema, or is this possibly an acne breakout, some type of hormonal breakout, when really it's their sensitivity to nightshades. High levels of solanine consumption have been associated with increased photosensitivity, making the skin more prone to sunburn and sun damage. Excessive exposure to sunlight after consuming foods high in solanine can exacerbate skin reactions. So remember that.
Mary, I wanted to pop in here because this topic was huge and you created an entire guide around nightshades that we have available for you guys. So what we'll do, because I'm assuming anyone who is registered for this session has an interest in all things nutrition. So we will ensure that you guys get a link to this digital download as well that will provide everything you need to know about nightshades and those specific foods.
Yes, I've had a client whose doctor told her he thought she had rosacea, and once she eliminated nightshades from her diet, her skin cleared up.
I believe it. I believe it. It was mind blowing to me, Mary, that some of the foods, and you know, I've been an esthetician for 20 years. We think about all things associated with skin, but there's always something that you can pull. And I think that this guide is very eye-opening because it's all of this healthy food that you just assume is good and your clients should be eating. But at the end of the day, like, you have to put all of those pieces together. So it's a great guide and we'll ensure that everyone gets access to that as well.
Thank you. So common nightshades, potatoes. Solanine is found in all parts of the potato, but most concentrated in the leaves, flowers, sprouts, green sun-exposed skins. Don't be eating green potatoes. Tomatoes. Everyone thinks tomatoes are going to be so healthy for you, healthy for your heart. Tomatoes have higher levels of solanine and can be toxic if you eat them in large quantities, especially green tomatoes. Eggplants. Eggplants are similar to tomatoes with the amount of solanine. Again, the eggplant itself will have a little bit of the solanine. So if your client is having it almost feels like a Mediterranean diet, right? With the eggplant, tomatoes, potatoes, but still having skin issues, possibly reduce the nightshades. Peppers, bell peppers, chili peppers, even paprika. All parts of the plants contain solanine, but like tomatoes and eggplants, the levels in fruit are considered to be safe, but if your client has a specific sensitivity, it's going to flare up in the skin. Goji berries. How many of us hear about goji berries as an antioxidant? It's not commonly associated with solanine, but it is part of the nightshade family and does contain small amounts of solanine substances. And blueberries. Blueberries aren't necessarily a nightshade, but they've been reported to contain a small amount of solanine. It's typically very low, but if people are, you know, blueberry smoothie. I have 5 blueberry bushes in my yard, and there are times when it is just an abundance of blueberries.
Abby, can I stop you for a second? I have a
Yeah.
question. So goji berries are in the I worked for a one of my clients when I was consulting a brick and mortar stores 100 years ago was a vegan juice bar and literally put goji berries in everything. And so if you're drinking goji berry, like you're having goji berries in your smoothie and that sort of thing, they're very much people are ingesting them in high quantities because of their antioxidant properties. So they're actually going to be lowering your ability to deal with sun exposure.
Well, that's according to the research that I did.
No,
Yes.
that's amazing because people like if somebody is dealing if somebody's going to an esthetician and they talk about like I just burn so easily and then they're sitting there drinking a smoothie, like I think these are things that are so important that we let estheticians know about because people are drinking these people who are super health conscious are ingesting everything that you
Right.
listed
They're
on that.
thinking that it's healthy, right? They're
Yeah,
thinking that
and
it's healthy, but then I can't be out in the sun for more than 5 minutes without getting sunburned.
that's why I love this course because there's so many common foods that like when you started bringing up nightshades, I'm like, here we go with nightshades again. I'm like, these things, man, I'm telling you. So I love that. I love this information because it's because I love blueberries. They're one of my favorite, like strawberries and blueberries. That's my go-to combination. So I don't use goji berries, but blueberries are my go-to. So living in Florida, I'll probably pull back a little bit on blueberries. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, then there's histamines. Histamines have a significant role in our immune response system. When histamines get released after we're exposed to an allergen or an injury, they can cause some different skin reactions. What histamines do is they cause a vasodilation. The blood vessels expand that leads to that redness and warmth in the area that's been injured or exposed to an allergen. That's our body's own response to try to contain that exposure. But histamines increase the permeability of the capillaries to white blood cells and some proteins. That can lead to swelling, inflammation, and characteristic hives and welts that we see when someone is having an allergic reaction. So itching, pruritus. One of the most common effects of histamines on the skin is itching. Histamines stimulate nerve endings in the skin, leading to that sensation of itchiness that's a signal to the body that something is wrong. You can get hives, urticaria, histamine release can cause hives, which are raised, itchy, red welts on the surface of the skin. They can appear very suddenly and be triggered by allergies to foods, medication, or other substances. For individuals who have eczema, histamines can exacerbate that condition, lead to increased itching, redness, and discomfort, and angioedema. So this is a deeper form of swelling underneath the skin, oftentimes around the eyes and the lips, sometimes on the hands and feet, and even the throat. Histamine release can trigger angioedema that can accompany the hives and that allergic reaction. Histamines are natural chemicals involved in allergic reactions and immune responses. In some individuals, especially people who might have a histamine intolerance or sensitivity, if they're consuming foods that are high in histamines, that can trigger allergic skin reactions, including itching, hives, redness, and swelling. Or histamine-rich foods can exacerbate inflammatory skin conditions like eczema, psoriasis. So it can contribute to existing skin inflammation. And what foods contain histamines? Common foods include, I gotta go back. There. I gotta move the picture. Common foods include dried fruits, apricots, prunes, dates, figs, and raisins. That drying process of drying the fruit concentrates the histamines that are present in the fruit. Sorry. Vegetables like tomatoes. You think tomatoes are so good, and now we're finding out they're full of the nightshade family, solanines, and histamines. Spinach and eggplant. Fish, if it's aged, smoked, or not fresh. Histamine levels in fish can increase due to bacterial action during storage or processing. Nuts, walnuts, cashews, and peanuts have a higher level of histamines. And we all know about the kids that are allergic to peanuts. And then chocolate. So cocoa and chocolate products are known to contain histamines, potentially contributing to symptoms in sensitive individuals. Other common histamine foods include aged cheeses, cheddar, Gouda, blue cheese, fermented foods, sauerkraut, kimchi, soy sauce, kefir, yogurt, kombucha. You think you're eating something that's healthy for you, and then find out it's full of histamines and you have a sensitivity to those histamines. Processed meats like salami, ham, sausage, fermented meats high in histamines, alcohol, wine, beer, champagne, particularly high in histamines. That fermentation process that's present with yeast and bacteria contribute to those higher histamine levels. And then vinegar-containing foods, pickles, mayonnaise, olives have high levels of histamines used due to the vinegar that's used in their production. So if your client is struggling, think about really dialing into their diet and what they're eating and see if you can help them figure it out. Salicylates. So salicylates are a group of naturally occurring chemicals found in many plants and foods. They're the same chemicals that give aspirin its pain relieving and anti-inflammatory properties. Most people can consume salicylate containing foods without any kind of issue. Some individuals might be more sensitive and they may need to avoid or limit their intake to manage those symptoms. Uh-oh. There. Someone who has a salicylate sensitivity may experience allergic reactions or a skin irritation if they're using products that contain salicylates. So some salicylic acids, the symptoms might be a rash, hives, itchiness, and redness. Chemical burns. Salicylic acid can cause chemical burns, and we do know that it's used as a chemical peel solution. But individuals can get excessive skin irritation if they have very sensitive skin to salicylates or if it's used improperly. And even if someone isn't allergic or sensitive to salicylates, some people will find that salicylic acid will cause their skin to dry, peel, and feel tight. They may need to adjust the percentage of salicylic acid in their topical skincare. Let's look at what salicylates are in food. Fruits, berries, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, oranges, grapes, and dried fruits. apples, cherries, and avocados contain salicylates. This was just astonishing to me. Vegetables, many vegetables contain salicylates, especially tomatoes again, cucumbers and bell peppers, broccoli, zucchini, and olives. Herbs and spices can be high in salicylates, including curry powder, paprika, thyme, dill, rosemary, and turmeric. Nuts and seeds, almonds and peanuts, again, pine nuts, sunflower seeds, and sesame seeds also contain those salicylates. Tea and coffee. Tea and coffee both have moderate to high levels of salicylates. Honey and jams, due to the concentration, the sweeteners are high in salicylates. Wine and beer, and condiments, ketchup, mustard, vinegar, soy sauce, have high levels of salicylates. And so I think that's another area that you're going to have to dial in with your client. And maybe it's just their sensitivity, just a small amount. But when I think about this list of foods, I remember once going to a Korean spa where there were these Korean women who were just putting vegetables and putting fruits and vegetables just through a food processor. And you would lay down on this gurney and they would just pile all of these fruits and vegetables on top of you and then just use it as kind of a scrub to exfoliate your whole skin area. I mean, just complete body exfoliation. And so I can see where with these salicylates, when this is also an ingredient in the salicylic acid that we're using for exfoliation, where you can get this sensitivity with all of these different foods. So we have to sort of end on a little bit of a note here about water. Don't forget to stay hydrated. Why do we need to drink water? Well, water helps moisturize the skin from the inside out. Hydrated skin is going to appear more plump, elastic, and vibrant. When you're drinking water, it isn't going to directly hydrate the skin's outer layer, but it does support the skin's overall hydration balance, reducing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. It's also, you need water for toxin elimination. Proper hydration will aid in the removal of toxins from the body, including the toxins that are going to, with perspiration, get removed from the skin. By supporting the body's natural detoxification process through the kidneys and liver, drinking water can help prevent toxin buildup that otherwise could contribute to acne and other skin issues. So if your client's struggling, find out how much water they're drinking. Water is also essential to circulate those nutrients in the body. By staying hydrated, you're ensuring that essential vitamins and minerals are efficiently distributed throughout the body. These nutrients are really vital to repair and rejuvenate our skin. And water helps with the skin barrier function. The barrier protects against harmful microorganisms and environmental pollutants. Well-hydrated skin barrier is more effective in retaining moisture and protecting against those irritants that will cause inflammation, including acne breakouts. Water also helps with skin elasticity. Hydration is the key to maintaining skin elasticity, which can prevent sagging, formation of fine lines and wrinkles. Hydration alone isn't going to stop aging, but it does help delay some of those visible signs. And when the skin is dehydrated, it can produce more oil to help compensate for that lack of moisture that can lead to clogged pores, leading to acne breakouts. So proper hydration is going to help balance that oil and water production and can lead to clearer skin. And water helps support healing processes. Adequate water supports the skin's healing processes, helping it to repair damage more efficiently. That includes healing from sunburns and healing from other wounds and skin injuries. And there we go. Modern aesthetics increasingly recognizes the importance of a holistic approach to beauty and skincare, acknowledging that topical treatments need to be complemented with a nutritious diet. A well-balanced diet supports the body's natural processes of growth, repair, and rejuvenation, and that is what is going to enhance the work that you do and your effectiveness as an esthetician. Thank you. Do we have any?
Look at that, well-rounded. Okay, Ruth, So Ruth asked a question. She said, so exactly what healthy foods can we eat? Ruth, I know you hear this
No,
and
I
you ask
know.
yourself the same question.
So I think that what you have to do is eat, well, you have to eat what's healthy for you. Maybe
Mhm.
blueberries aren't going to bother you, but maybe blueberries do bother you and you don't know it because you're eating them because you think it's the healthy thing to do. But if you eliminated them, so I think some of this involves almost doing an elimination diet,
Mhm.
where especially some of these foods, tomatoes, um, if you eliminated them and see that your skin clears up, then tomatoes are not for you. And whether it's the salicylate, the solanine, or the histamine that's in the tomato that's you're sensitive to, you can just help dial that in. And I think talking with your clients about elimination diets, getting connected with a dietitian or a food nutritionist that you can partner with so that you can give your client more of that holistic picture um, in their skincare journey.
I have two things to say about that, Mary. One is estheticians, one of the easiest things that we kind of defer to is dairy, right? It's so easy to say, oh, you've got acne, so dairy. Like, so you guys just think of it that way. If we can do it with dairy, we can start to wrap our heads around other foods. But I also love what you just said, Mary, that it's really a great idea to partner with someone who specializes in this so that you can bring the awareness, you can help sort of plant the seed, and then they can go to somebody who can really work with them. And if that's, too far of a reach for them, you can slowly work with them and you can take Mary's guides. You could take her nutrition course and really wrap your own head around it so you can provide that insight to your clients.
Well, I can tell you a story of my middle daughter now that I'm here on my mother-daughter weekend with my girls. And I had given my girls the York food sensitivity test, which is a mail-in, it's Diana Drake, natural,
Skin naturopathics.
In
skin
naturopathics.
naturopathic.
Yeah.
There we go. And she has a test. It's a finger prick. You drop it, send it in the mail. It comes back to you. I had given one to my girls for Christmas. My one daughter has struggled with her skin breaking out since teen years. Again, powerful, busy women. But what does she eat all day long? A handful of almonds. Didn't have time for lunch, but grabbed a handful of almonds. Yep, had some almonds in my smoothie this morning, had some almonds. Oh no, I've got it almonds. Well, guess what she's sensitive to?
Almonds.
Almonds.
And she the whole time was thinking, and she probably was eating raw almonds, even
Yes,
more healthy because the heating process destroys the natural oils. So she's thinking she's doing the best thing in the world, but she's got a sensitivity. So that's it.
yes.
And you mentioned Diana Drake. I know we love skin naturopathics. She said that she was reformulating. I know that you work with her a lot. How is her reformulation coming along, Mary? Did she tell you? Is she in touch with you?
No, we had talked about doing some type of presentation together on menopause. Um, but I have not spoken with her in the last couple of months.
What kind of presentation would you do on menopause, Mary Nielsen?
Hmm.
Just on skin, I guess, the skin and nutrition and menopause. I mean, I just think there's a lot right now with perimenopause, women struggling with their skin issues, struggling with hormonal issues that affect kind of all parts of life, and trying to talk about what supplements might be necessary or you may be lacking in as you hit that menopause period.
So we might be doing a menopause guide in the month of May. And so if that might get published at some point in May, maybe you want to send me a quote of 2 paragraphs or so on nutrition for menopause and you get featured. I don't know, Mary, maybe you do that.
Maybe I do that.
Okay, there you go.
We do have one question in the caption that maybe you can address without obviously getting too specific on everyone's individual needs. But Tay asked what was the one? I'm sorry, Nancy asked, for someone who's dealing with rosacea, what would be the best diet?
That's a good question. And, I'm not a dietitian, but
Right.
I would eliminate nightshades. I would take out, and even taking out some of those, histamine response, um, foods,
Mm-hmm.
and then just eliminating them and then just gradually bringing things back in to see
What
how your
activates?
skin responds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nadia also asked, she commented on nightshades. So do these nightshades apply equally to skin of color? Typically, I don't know of anyone experiencing burning from excess sun exposure.
Mm. I think that the so reading that I have done recently, of course, when you were looking in dermatology illustrations or dermatology pictures, typically just feature Caucasian skin.
Mhm.
Skin of color is going to present itself differently. It's not going to have that redness. It may have darker or even purple, or it may not even be visible. But that's where I think you need to go to a skilled, I would say, dermatologist who is familiar with treating skin of color, and dietitian to kind of get that advice. Because I think when we get into those areas, that tends to get out of our scope of practice.
Right, right.
Awesome.
Let's see. And the last question was from Tay. What is the test called and how much does it cost?
It's called the York Food Sensitivity Test. And I think you can just Google it, and I think it was about $49
Mhm. Great.
and mailed it in, and you get results back in about 2 weeks. Comes to you in the
I
mail with a little report.
I want to do that, Jen. Let's do it.
I do too.
Yeah. Mary, thank you so much for this. I always learn something new every time we take one of your
Every
wellness
time.
notes. So I'm so excited. I love learning about nutrition. Um, and Mary, while you were presenting, Jenny and I double checked, and you do have a digital download in July, and we will want you to talk about chemical peels and dermaplaning. So put that in your list of things to do on top of the menopause quote. We're going to keep you guys busy because Spectrum Advanced Aesthetics has top level education and they share it with us, and we're so grateful for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This is so not good.
No,
Things
it's
flying
hard.
around.
It's hard. I don't know how to do Zoom. Jenny has to drive whenever we do a webinar together. And we tried to do a webinar, just Jenny and I, and it was so we felt like grandparents trying to learn
Yes.
how to do it because I was like, where's the button? I can't find the button. It was awful. It was
Presenting and sharing
awful.
your screen at the same time,
The
I give you
time is
props, Mary
too
Nielsen,
much. It's
because
hard.
It
it's
It's
just
too much
is.
to
hard.
And
do.
Zoom and Teams, and they're a little bit different.
Ay,
We are
marrón.
having our nutrition certified esthetician program on site next class, May 7th. It has been totally revamped, and it is an even better program than it was before. We've got new data, new info out there. And then there is a virtual, you'll have access for a year. Use Lipgloss 24, you get 20% off.
Love it.
Yay. And
Love
Mary, how long is that code going to go? Because we get random DMs on the regular about that. So,
The code is good till December 31st, 2024.
Jen,
Oh,
so what's the code? It's lipgloss 24, 20% off. I'm putting that in my notes right now in my iPhone because we get DMs all the time about your class. So it's very exciting to have that.
all right, everyone.
All
Mary,
right.
well, we wish you the most exciting day with your daughters. We will let you
Thank
get back
you.
to enjoying your time with them. We thank you for taking the time out today to spend with us at the Ritz-Carlton, everyone together.
At the
Uh,
Ritz-Carlton.
Yes, I will, just so that we're clear, as soon as we're done here, I will be changing into a fabulous outfit and going to high tea at the Ritz-Carlton at 3:30.
Can't wait to see that outfit.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, Jenny, do you want to tell Mary or should I?
What we're heading to this evening?
No, what happened yesterday?
Oh, I'll let you have your moment.
So we met Princess Isabella of Belgium, who was like stunningly beautiful. She's 50 years old. She looks like she's 25. She has the most beautiful blue eyes I've ever seen.
Mhm.
And she was so gracious and kind. And I'm not saying that just because she pulled me aside and whispered in my ear, I really like your style. I'm not saying it because she said that to me.
Definitely not.
Oh my God, I was floating for the rest of the day.
I
But
bet.
yeah, it was a good day. So I've shared that with every single human being that I know living on this planet right now because it's my claim to fame now. But Mary Nilsson, thank you so much for today and taking the time out of the weekend with your daughters. We truly appreciate that. If you guys registered and showed up today, we love you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to spend with us. We're honored, truly honored that you would come to us for your education, and we appreciate you so much. If you're one of the people who registered for this webisode and are getting the email and watching it on the replay, love you guys too. Thank you so much. But if you're one of the more than 7,500 people who have downloaded the Lipgloss and Aftershave app and use it to get education in the palm of your hand any day of the week, any hour of the day, anywhere you are, we love you. Thank you so much, you guys. Keep scrolling, keep learning. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you guys.